So today's guest, Anastasia Lay, is joining us for the next little part of the show we like to call Nerd Wars, where my guest out-nerds me on a topic which I've basically only Googled. So I'd like to welcome my guest, Anastasia Lay, to talk about Pokemon.
Yes, apart from science and tarot reading and comedy, Pokemon is my passion, really. One of my many passions in life.
Pokemon's been around a long time, so the point of this segment is I'm meant to try and out-nerd you, and I know nothing about Pokemon, so this could get interesting. So, okay, let's go. So the first thing I found out was, and it was more a statement of what I found interesting, and it was that Pokemon was created by a Japanese Gen X person, which is, my generation. And his name is, let's see if I can say this right, Satoshi Tajiri. And he created Pokemon for Gen Y generation in 1995. And it's 25 years on with Gen Z. So it's still pretty popular right now. Has it increased in popularity? I think so. I'm going to speculate that it has.
I mean, we have all these political dinosaurs that last for ages and they would not die out. So I'm not surprised that Pokemon lasts that long. I think the fact that, they are magical creatures and, we all want to have some certain powers, and also we all want to have pets, yeah, and as many as we can. And the fact that they're so cute and cuddly and they are packed in balls, in Pokeballs, and they have power within them. I think that's what actually win people over, because it seems that he inspired the whole Pokemon idea is inspired by bug collecting and Japanese folklore. It seems.
Well, I didn't know it was inspired by Japanese folklore, but that makes perfect sense. Okay, all right. So the next thing that I dug up in my very limited Googling ability was I wanted to know if Pokemon have gender. Interesting one, isn't it? It said that some do. So you would be able to probably clarify this for me. It said that some do and some are unknown, but apparently you can tell if they've got a different gender.
Depends on the Pokemon. Some design, like they meant to show gender differences. And then some Pokemon they do not have gender affixed to them, especially the legendary ones. So just like transgender diverse people, we are legendary, so we don't like to be questioned about it. And Pokemon, what fascinated me about Pokemon is that you do have Pokemon that can have both male and female, and yet the form is very feminine. And to think of it, Pokemon anime would be one of those cartoons that feature cross-dressing and drag and all of that. Quite nicely done.
And it's interesting. I wonder if people in 1995 realised that. I doubt it. I really do. It's quite an interesting space. I think the other thing that I found really interesting, though, to kind of counter that, was that Pokemon was short for pocket monsters. And I thought, geez, there's a whole lot of symbolism in that too, in relation to gender.
Yes. It's rather fascinating, and I mean, there's always, if you watch the anime, there's always this excitement where like, oh my gosh, like what is going to come out from his balls next, things like that. And then, oh, this girl, she's throwing the balls, and we would be so eager waiting to see what would be the next Pokemon. And same thing with the video games. And the interesting thing is that recently, Pokemon, the video games, they let you to choose the gender and also to modify your appearances, whether you have darker skin or like colored eyes or colored hair. Like you can choose however you like. So that is something quite woke. And in the subtext, they even had occasions where in one version of the earlier game, you would have this like karate master, and then in the sequel, that person would say something like, you know, when I used to be a karate master, to indicate that, you know, that is a trans woman that our character is talking to, and she had transitioned from a martial art, you know, mojo master to, you know, this beautiful lady who just lounges on the beach. So yeah, there's a lot of subtext in Pokemon. Quite progressive, that one.
Yeah, it totally. And I think, and it's also an interesting sort of thing that, you know, trans and gender diverse people have been existed in all cultures across the world forever. And, you know, a lot of the ways that we've been spoken about might have been underground, and that we're now in this space where something like Pokemon, which, you know, Pokemon Go was touted as having, you know, some big mental health for people, you know, help people with mental health issues because it got them out of the house more, and that created a sense of community and spirit around searching for Pokemon. I know there's been some negatives with that as well, but yeah, it's been a bit of a magical journey for me to go on to look at something like Pokemon and go, wow. So thank you for introducing the topic to me as something I would not have thought about in those terms. Thank you so much for being on Talk-ist, Anastasia.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So that was the fabulous Anastasia Lay joining us for Nerd Wars. And that's it from Talk-ist. See you next time.